On behalf of all the family, we want to welcome you today. My name is Ken Roberts, Pastor Ken Roberts, and I knew Thelma for about 25 years. I was her pastor in the Cleveland area for 25 years, and then she moved south in this direction, and I moved to Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was there for 8 years pastoring, and I just returned to the area last summer. And so Dan and Linda and the family asked me if I would officiate today, and I really felt honored to do this because I know Thelma very well, and I know the Millers very well, the Kubitscheks very well, and many of you I know or have seen around for many, many years. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but Dan, her son, was telling me last week, I think we were together, is that Thelma wanted a family reunion. And she had made the family, and you know how Thelma could be, she made the family promise that on her 85th birthday, that she would have a family reunion. And yesterday would have been her 85th birthday. So we're one day late, but we are here. And for me, it kind of feels like a family reunion to see many people I haven't seen for a long time, be able to see sons and grandsons and granddaughters and people who haven't been around. So I'm honored to be here. We also have a lot of other guests who really came in from quite a distance, and we're glad that you are here as well. And one family just wanted to acknowledge all the way from Maryland, the Jennings from Maryland, who have been part of the Marichek family for many years. So people have come around to honor Thelma. And here's what we're going to do in the next 45 minutes to an hour. We are going to honor her, but we are also going to have a mentality that this is a homecoming. We are sad. We are sorrowful. There is grief, but the grief is really because of us who are left behind. We're left behind in this world that we're still navigating through. But from Thelma's vantage point where she's at today, because of her belief in Jesus Christ, this is her homecoming, and she may be looking down at all of us saying, this is her homecoming. You're here for her homecoming for her as well. So let's think about Thelma's passing as she has moved to her eternal home, and to the place that she's always wanted to go for a long, long time. And I can tell you, for me, I just turned 60. I'm still young, but for me, I'm more and more looking for my eternal home. I more and more feel like this place, the here and now that I live in, I appreciate living here every day that I get. But I don't feel like it's my home, and I'm looking forward to be with Thelma someday with her eternal home as well. Thelma Marie Kubitschek Foss was born in Athens, Ohio on April 7th, 1932, to the late Jesse O. and Mary T. Loach, Sanborn. She died Saturday, March 11th, 2017. She was 84 years old, 85 as of yesterday. She was survived by 7 children: Linda I. Miller and her husband Douglas, Mike Kubitschek and his wife Betty, Stephen Kubitschek and his wife Pat, Daniel Kubitschek and his wife Karen, Mary Marichek and her husband John, Patricia Roloff, Gina Foss. And Thelma also has, and you see them kind of all around here today, Thelma has 21 grandchildren, 27 great-grandchildren. She has a sister, Martha Hasselbrack, and 2 brothers, Stephen and Robert Sanborn, and many nieces and nephews. In addition to her parents preceding her in death, Thelma was also preceded in death by her brother, James Sanborn. At the age of 9, Thelma and her family moved to Cleveland, Ohio. She attended Jane Addams Vocational High School for girls and majored in culinary arts. In 1951, she married Rudy Kubitschek, and they had 5 children together. Then from a second marriage, Thelma had 2 more daughters. Thelma worked for Bob's Big Boy in Brunswick, Ohio for 15 years. That's where I would have met Thelma. I still remember going there and having meetings there with other people, and Thelma was always the one who was there and serving and helping. So she was there for 15 years, only retiring because of needing a knee replacement. And then months later, she moved to Westerville, Ohio, to live with her daughter Mary and her family. From there, she relocated to Guyana, to a senior citizens complex where she worked for 10 years as a senior companion to disabled adults. 5 years ago, she moved here to Mount Vernon, where at the age of 80, she became a foster grandparent and worked at Head Start with her children. She finally retired after a second knee replacement in November of 2014. She discovers her talents while working with these adult children, in that she learned to paint and make ceramics. In retirement, she loved to watch cooking shows and Dancing with the Stars, and especially her favorite TV pastors, Joseph Prince and Joyce Meyer. I thought my name would be on there, but I'm not a TV pastor, it's not on there. Early in her life, that was during the 80s, she traveled with some good friends, Mrs. Norris, in her RV. They saw places like Branson, Missouri, New England, Lexington, Kentucky, and other places, just to name a few. She enjoyed traveling. She was an avid reader. She loved being a grandmother and a great-grandmother. And she dedicated her life to helping and teaching others. Her faith made a great difference in her life, and enabled her to go through the tough and difficult times in which she had many. Her life was not easy, but her faith kept her going. Thelma was a symbol of strength, determination, and perseverance to so many that crossed her path. When I was with Dan, her son, and Linda, her daughter, a week or two back, and we were planning this, and we were talking about stories, and the way I would remember Thelma is, if I could only use one word, how I would remember her was really perseverance. She was very tenacious. She had a lot of things she had to go through at times and very difficulty, but she's somebody who would keep going. And I also remember she had that kind of little look on her face. She would kind of give you that little side look on her face, and you weren't exactly sure what she meant, but you know she meant whatever she was saying to you about that little look. But Thelma was a wonderful person. She had great influence in my life as well. And she was a woman of tremendous perseverance. Let's pray and honor and dedicate this time to the Lord. Father, we thank you, and we thank you for this Holy Week, this season that we're coming into, in which you pay the greatest price as the act of sacrifice, as a gift of love. And the scripture we just saw, that slight presentation ending by, that you who knew no sin became sin on our behalf, that we might have this ongoing relationship with you, our Heavenly Father. And so, Father, we thank you that it's in days and times like this isn't just a nice theology, it's not just a nice myth, a nice theory, but it's something that we hold to and we believe to. And so, Lord, we do grieve. There is sorrow. We are losing a mom, a grandmother, an aunt, a sister. But we know that she is gaining her home and her place of her eternal life that's been bought and purchased by the work of your Son. So, Father, we thank you for that. Holy Spirit, we ask that you would be with us now. This would not simply be a perfunctory ceremony of religion, but Lord, that there would be a reality of her life, and a reality of your word, and a reality of your presence and your Spirit with us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you for doing that. Stand with me if you would, please. And we are going to sing a hymn. It's an old hymn, but it's one that Thelma wanted. And if you will take your hymn book, you'll need to take your hymn book, because there will not be words on the slide. It should be in front of you, in the seat in front of you there. And go to hymn number 230 in this Living Way hymnal in front of you. And go to hymn 230. We're going to sing the old hymn, The Old Rugged Cross. And we're going to sing only 3 verses, verses 1, 2, and 4. Okay? Verses 1, 2, and 4. And so sing loud, so you don't have to just hear my voice in singing this hymn, The Old Rugged Cross. Thelma loved that. Maybe see you from
When I thought about talking, I was going to share memories of my mom. And then I thought about it, and I thought perhaps all of you would like to hear something right from my mom. And so I had a book that I had given her back in 1995. It says, "Mom, share your life with me." And it's 365 pages, one for every day, questions. And she answered all of them. And I thought I would share some of those with you, and that way you can know a little more about her. First, I wanted to share some meaning of her name, which I thought I had never really looked up. And I knew that from the Hebrew word it meant nurturing or nursing. But I looked up just the name of Thelma. I'll read it to you. It says, Thelma, nurturer, caregiver. Stubborn at times and strong-willed, which was my mom. Likely to hurt one's feelings if unexpected, unprepared for brutal honesty, but well-intentioned and loving. That was my mom. She loved to laugh, but because of past hurts, she masked the tenderness by putting up a wall at times. But when she cracked that shell, she was a sweetheart. So I thought that meaning of Thelma was pretty right on with my mom. So I'll share some of the questions that are in this book and how she answered them. It says, and tell us about her favorite aunt. And her favorite aunt was Aunt Thelma. And that's who she was named for. And also Aunt Thelma just went home to be with the Lord in January. So the two Thelmas are up in heaven having a celebration today. So she wrote, Aunt Thelma was my favorite aunt when I was young because she had these beautiful wine-colored suede heels that she would let me wear. So she loved wearing her aunt's shoes when she was young. And there was another question that says, relate to your happiest memory as a youth. And again, she named her Aunt Thelma. She said, I think my happiest memory was when I went to stay a few weeks with my Aunt Thelma in Columbus. I must have been about 12. I got my first perm when I was there with her. It was very frizzy, and I didn't get another one for many, many years. And then one more about Aunt Thelma, actually. The question was, if you ever had a hero, tell why. She said, my Aunt Thelma. I thought she was the prettiest, sweetest person I knew. So that was very special for her. Okay, another question was, tell about the naughtiest thing you ever did, and if you got caught, describe the consequences. Well, she said she got caught smoking corn silk with her cousin Jean and her brother Sonny. And she said, and we got the belt from Grandma. So that was the consequence. And then another question, tell about someone who had an influence in your life. She says, I think my mother. She is the one that took me to church, and because of that, I found the Lord at a young age. I feel God protected me from many difficulties. I had a strength inside me that got me through many problems. Describe a place you like to go to be alone. I would walk in the woods behind our house and sit on a grassy hill. To this day, I enjoy doing that. And I remember when she was about 75, she took a walk with her grandchildren, Kayla and Christopher, the two little ones, uphill and down, around. She said even herself that she couldn't believe she could do that at 75. So she was a very strong woman. Describe your household chores that you had as a child. Because I had to wash dishes and make beds. I still like to wash dishes, and she did. She never had a dish in the sink. And I never leave my bed unmade. And that is so true. And whenever I was with her or she was with me, that bed was always made. As a child, what did you want to be when you grow up? And she simply says, a wife and mother. And I thought this was kind of cute. The question is, make up a limerick about yourself. She says, when I was a kid, we moved all around. I don't remember being long in a town. Now that I'm older, I stay settled down because I hate packing up stuff and being undone. So here I'll stay for the rest of my days. I didn't know she had some poetry skills. And she also, Pastor Ken mentioned that she went to high school and majored in culinary arts. She was an extremely good cook. And the question here is, did you ever make mud pies? And she says, many times, especially since I was very talented as a good mud pie cook. Did your parents ever make you wear something silly to school? Always, she says. We had to wear homemade dresses with bloomers. They were made out of flour sacks. So if you can just picture Thelma in a homemade dress and bloomers, that'll bring a chuckle to you. Now this is a little cute, I think. It says, did you ever have a crush on a teacher? And she said, my science teacher in 8th grade. He was Italian and a real hunk. Okay, and then one more. This was to me. It says, do you have a good piece of advice for me? Well, I think the advice that she gave me, and I'll read it, could be a good piece of advice for all of us. And it actually comes from Scripture. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding. She says, God gave man dominion over the earth, and you have dominion over your own life. Take action and trust God. And I have one thing to read from her own journal that she wrote that I just found kind of sweet. And she actually only wrote this every year on her birthday. And I don't know if she forgot about it or, why. But she said, this was on April 7th, 2011, so it would have been her birthday. She said, a year has passed so fast, and I have not written in this journal for a year. I can't believe I'm 79 years old. Didn't do much today. I went to work, enjoyed the day, answered all my texts, which I thought is kind of unusual for a lady in her 70s to be texting at that time because it just had started coming out. And a couple of phone calls. I read my lovely birthday cards, which I love to get, and she did. She had, that was like the best part of her birthday, whether she got any gifts or not. She loved to get cards from her family. And then the last entry I'll read to you here. It says, today is Saturday, and I have a few things to do. But as usual, I'm doing very little. I started working at my new job. She's 80 years old here. I started working at my new job as a foster grandparent. I work with 4- and 5-year-olds at Head Start. It is very challenging, a far cry from working with the special needs adults. Children are much more challenging, and they ask a lot of questions. So years back, my mom had read this poem, and she asked me, she said, at my funeral, she goes, would you please read this to me? And so I'll read this word for word. And she said, it's entitled Heaven. It says, I found a new place where I can be free. I found a whole new beginning, just made for me. I know only peace and I'll never feel pain. Days are full of sunshine and never the rain. I'm no longer old. I have recovered my youth. And all of my dreams have become my truth. I can smile, I can laugh, I can walk, I can run. I can hear every whisper, I can see past the sun. My body is whole and my mind is so clear. I know all the answers and I'm free from all fear. I know why you mourn me. I see how you weep. Your heart's full of aching from a love that runs deep. And I'm grateful for loved ones who hold me so dear. But remember, I found a better place here. I will be there beside you, always nearby. So don't mourn me for long, nor forever cry. And whenever your sorrow bears down in your heart, think not of my ending, but of my new start. For on the earth there is no joy that I ever see to compare to the joy of God smiling on me. And I just wanted to say it to my mom, I'll miss you, and I'll come to close in my heart forever. Thank you.
I just have something very, very small. I could talk a lot about Grandma. We had a really special bond. I called her a lot. A little bit less as I had more and more kids and was busier, but she always understood calling and say, I'm sorry, I haven't called you in a couple of weeks. And she would say, oh, that's okay, you've got a lot on your plate. So she never made me feel guilty about that. But whenever I had a really rough day or something, I would often call her and just talk to her. She would talk sense into me. Sometimes, you want to quit when you have little kids. I have 6 and 7.5 years. And she understood because she had 7 children. And she probably wanted to quit a lot too. And she would just tell me, don't quit. So when I was going through her apartment here a couple weeks ago, I came across a lot of paraphernalia. She had saved everything that everybody sent her. Cards and pictures and letters, and there was a particular cute picture that Aunt Tricia colored when she was a little girl, and she said on it, don't throw this away. And she didn't. Grandma Thelma still had the picture. One of the things that I found was an index card with her handwriting, and I think it had to have been fairly recent because it was either taped to her wall or inside of a book right by a chair. It wasn't put away with some of the stuff that was decades old. It's right here. I laminated it, and I keep it with me. And it just really caught my attention, the words that she put on here, because it spoke deeply to me. And I think that she would want us all to know this. She said, my children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren are my legacy. Praise the Lord. Let me be a good example. And I look around and she had 7 children. She had tons of grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And she has quite the legacy. And she was quite the example. I love you, Grandma.
There's a fairly famous poem now called The Dash, and we're going to see that. I think one of the granddaughters was going to read it, but we're going to see that now. So take a look at this, and it really does think about what happens between that day we start and that day that we end. Watch this. I'm going to share just a few words. I will be brief. And some of you who attended where I spoke, Pastor heard me say it before that I'll be brief, but I will be brief. I want to share some thoughts. You know, we're all going to pass. As I said earlier, I'm 60 years of age. My dad's 86. He lives in Tennessee. I'll be going down to see him shortly. My mom died 2.5 years ago. My late wife, as some of you know my story, was killed in a car accident at the age of 47. So all of us are going to die. Sometimes we kind of know it's coming. Sometimes we don't know it's coming. But one thing we do know is coming. You know, as they say, taxes is coming up in about a week, and also death is coming in as well. It's for all of us. It's going to happen. And the thing about death, and the thing about something really kind of in our Western culture, is we like to kind of push away from death a little bit. It was interesting. My wife Missy, we drove down from Avon Lake today, so it was about a 2-hour drive, and kind of on the way down, for whatever reason, we were thinking about the funeral, and we were kind of started talking about who might go first and who died first. How that would feel, would we want to die first or not die first or whatever. But we kind of backed off by saying we've never talked about that before. And we don't talk about it because we don't really want to talk about it. And yet death is inevitable. In the Western culture, we don't really deal with it a whole lot. We kind of want to push it back, and someday yes, and someday yes, and someday maybe, and someday yes. But let's keep it at bay. But it comes to all of us. Death comes to all of us. But the thing about death is that death shouldn't be morbid. Hear this. Death doesn't have to be morbid, but death should be our motivator. Just what Amy said, and it's so true. What we do in between the dash determines the legacy we leave. And what we do before death comes to us determines how people are going to define our legacy, what we've done with life. So death doesn't have to be morbid. This doesn't have to be morbid today. This can be a celebration, but it can be a motivation for us. So think about it for just a moment. This whole idea of homecoming, when Dan mentioned it to me, I just thought it was so spot on. This whole idea, she wanted a homecoming. She wanted a homecoming in the here and now if she was still alive, but she's getting a homecoming in a different way that she didn't think she was going to get. So I want to read some scriptures, just a few scriptures, that speaks to that idea of us going home, going to our eternal, permanent home. Here's what Jesus said, the words of Jesus. Here's the way he said it. He said this: "Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you that wasn't the case. But I'm going there to prepare a place, a home for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you may also be where I am," which is where Thelma is right now. "You know to the place where I'm going." Thomas said, "Lord, we don't know where you are going or how to get there or what the way is." But he said this, his answer. Jesus said, "I am the way and the truth and the life." He's being exclusive there. In our pluralistic world today, he's being exclusive there, saying there isn't many ways. He's saying, "I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. No one comes to the Father, returns to home, except through me." So Thelma is having a homecoming. She is at home today. I'm going to read another section of scripture for you. This is for Corinthians, and Paul said it this way. This scripture especially means something to me, important to me, because this is what we read at my wife's funeral, which many of you here were there. This was one of her life verses. And but so listen to this. Here's what Paul says about this idea of home, permanent home. He says, "Therefore we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." So he's contrasting there. "Therefore shall we fix our eyes not on what we see, but what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, it's going to pass. But what is unseen, the life yet to come, the eternal home, the permanent home, but what is unseen is eternal. And then Paul goes on and he gives us this little kind of metaphor, this little idea about this life being like a tent. And any of us who've gone hiking and set up a tent, it's not a permanent thing. We set it up for the night or 3 days and it's taken down. He uses that same idea. Here's what he says. Now we know that if the earthly tent we live in is destroyed, this body, we have a building, there's the contrast, a building from God, which is an eternal house in heaven, not built by human hands. So we're going to that eternal home, not that tent, but that building that God makes, that permanent place. Meanwhile, while we're here, we groan, longing to be clothed with our heavenly dwelling, because when we are clothed, we will not be found naked. For while we are in this tent, we groan, and we are burdened, because we do not wish to be unclothed, but to be clothed with our heavenly dwelling. I love this phrase. It's one of my favorite passages in all the Bible. That is mortal may be swallowed up by life. Thelma has been swallowed up by life, not by death, by life. It's the other way around. When we think about death, we think about, okay, it's all over, life is gone. For a believer, it's just the opposite. Is that she was not swallowed up by death, she's now swallowed up by life. The perfection of the life that she wanted and that we want, she's not experiencing. She was swallowed up by life. Now, it is God who has made us for this very purpose, for that life, and has given us the Spirit as a deposit guaranteeing what is to come. So the Holy Spirit's in us that says we want home. Anybody who's saved, who's come to Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit's in us, and what the Spirit is saying, I want to go home. I want to be at home. That's the deposit. I want to be at home. That's the idea she's now there. He says, therefore, we are always confident and know that as long as we are at home here in the body, we are away from the Lord, the home we want. We live by faith, not by sight. We are confident, and I say we prefer to be away from the body and at home with the Lord. So we make it our goal to please Him, whether we're at home with the body or away from it. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that each one may receive what is due him for the things done while in the body, whether good or bad. So there's this idea that all of us long for what Thelma was not experiencing. We all live in tents. Someday they're going to be taken down, and we want to go to our permanent place of residence. I want to tell you real fast 2 quick stories and kind of bring my part to an end here. One of my favorite stories, and I've used this many times in different sermons over the years, one of my favorite stories is the story of 2 missionary women in the, let's say the 20s, 1920s, who were in Africa, and they had done their missionary duty there, and they were away from the United States for many, many, many years. And of course, during that time, they weren't able to come back and forth easily and fly back and, FaceTime and all that. They didn't see one another. They finally decided they were going to come home. They were now retired from their missionary work, and they were going to come home, come back to the United States. They got on a boat from London, came across the Atlantic into New York. And while they were there, they were getting really excited about who might welcome them once they got home. And once they got home, they began to hear these bands, a band happening, and people with placards and banners, and they thought, oh man, we're being welcomed. We're being welcomed back home. And they got off, and they got off the boat. What they didn't realize is the dignitary had been on the boat with them, and all the fanfare was for the dignitary. And one of the missionary women, as she was walking with her friend, she said, we're home, and nobody was there to greet us. Nobody was there to celebrate us. And her missionary friend, real wise, said, but we're not home yet. Thelma may not have had a lot of applause here, but she's at our permanent place of dwelling. And she's being applauded for what I would say Jesus would say, well done, good and faithful servant. Let me read one more scripture. Paul says there's a day coming for all of us, and he says this is what it's going to be like. He says, brothers, we don't want you to be ignorant about those who fall asleep, or to grieve like the rest of the men who have no hope. We believe that Jesus died and rose again, and so we believe that God will bring with Jesus those who have fallen asleep in him. According to the Lord's own words, we will tell you that who are still alive, we are left to the coming of the Lord, will certainly not receive those who have fallen asleep. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. After that, we who are still alive and are left behind will be caught up together with him in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so we will be with the Lord forever. He says, therefore, encourage each other with these words. When I was a little kid, my dad was a pastor, and my dad pastored mainly in the state of Tennessee. And when I was about 6 years of age, first place my dad pastored was in a little town called Savannah. And Savannah is a river town on the Tennessee River, and I'm the middle of 7 kids, and so we were always out and having fun and playing baseball and doing all that type of stuff. And we had a large open field by our house, a little bitty small house. We lived in a little bitty small house, but a huge open field, and that's where we played ball, and then we let the grass grow up, and we played army out there, and that was our spot, to do it. And we lived in this little town, in the 60s, and it was in the 60s, and you could just kind of go and be gone and come back and find your friends and go to the ball field next to our house and play. And that's kind of the way we lived. But there was only one rule in our house, one big rule in our house, and that rule was when it was time to eat and Mom called us, it was time to come home. And my mom, I can still remember it. This is many, 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 many years ago now. We would be out, Dan, playing in the field with kids, 6, 7 years of age, and Mom would go to the back door. And the back door was kind of facing the field. She'd go to the back door, and she would throw the screen door open, and she'd say, "Kitty, Kitty, it's time to come home." Thelma has heard these words from the Father. She's at home. You'll hear them one day. The only real question is, will you be prepared when the call is sung? Let's pray. Father, we thank you for the life that you give us. We thank you for the 84 years, almost 85 years of Thelma's life, and that you were with her through every season, through every step, through every journey, through every valley, through every mountain, through every tear, through every laughter, through every situation. Lord, we thank you that as we head into Easter, we thank you for the assurance we have because of the work of Jesus Christ. We will miss her. She has left much behind. But we are rejoicing with her that you prepared a place for her in heaven and you called her home, and she's now there in the perfect state, in the perfect dimension of life. No more of the groaning that we experience on this life in this tent. Father, I thank you for the assurance I have because of the work of Jesus Christ. Of the call one day to come home, I thank you for the assurance that many people in this room have because of the work of Jesus Christ and the call someday to come home. I pray for those who are here today who possibly do not. They know the message, they've gone to church, they've heard a preacher like me before, they kind of know what it's all about, but maybe they're not quite as certain that if the back door were swung open and they were called and summoned home, would they be prepared? I ask that this life and the life that Thelma lived would not be wasted away of her testimony in their own life through the response to the clear call of Jesus Christ that He and He alone is the way. We thank You for that. We all look forward to the day. I look forward to the day when I will be reunited with those who've gone before me, who trust in You. Friends, parents, family members. And Lord, I pray that when that day comes, those in this auditorium today, this sanctuary today, would be also at that great reunion. We pray this in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. We're going to move this for just a second, and then the granddaughters are going to do a very, very special dance and sign for us. Will you help us with that?
Seas that are shaking and stirred can be calm and broken for my regard. And through it all, my eyes are on You. And through it all, it is well. And through it all, my eyes are on You, and it is well with me. Far be it from me to not believe, even when my eyes can't see. And this mountain that's in front of me will be thrown into the midst of the sea. And through it all, my eyes are on You. And through it all, it is well. And through it all, my eyes are on You, and it is well. It is well. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. The waves and wind still know His name. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul.
We've been talking about homecoming, and it is well with Thelma's soul there. I hope it has been yours. If you would like to maybe further talk about the eternal home and whether you're assured of that eternal home, I'll be around downstairs for the meal. If you'd like to just maybe sit something on the side, that's the best way for you to do it. But as we end, and before we have a meal together, we want you to listen to a great song that will put hopefully an exclamation point on this memorial service about home. Listen to this.
This world is not what it was meant to be. All this pain, all this suffering. There's a better place waiting for me in heaven. Every tear will be wiped away. Every sorrow and sin erased. We'll dance, we'll sing of amazing grace in heaven, in heaven. I'm going home where the streets are rolling, every chain is broken. Oh, I wanna go, oh, I wanna go home where every fear is gone. I'm ready to open arms where I belong. Lay down my burdens, I lay down my head. I run to Jesus, no turning back. Thank God Almighty, I'll be free at last. In heaven, in heaven, I'm going home. The streets are rolling, every chain is broken. Oh, I wanna go, oh, I wanna go home. Every fear is gone. I'm ready to open arms where I belong. When the streets are rolling, every chain is broken. Oh, I wanna go. Oh, I wanna go home where fear is gone. I'm ready to open arms where I belong. Where I
Amen. Stand with us if you would, please. Thanks for being here on behalf of the family. They will say thank you. We would like to invite you immediately after this to a meal downstairs. You are all invited. But we would like to dismiss the immediate family first, so they can go and kind of that could be expedited. And also to do that, I'm going to pray for the food as well. Amen. Father, thank you for a beautiful day, and thank you for a beautiful life. And we thank you that we are grieving, but it's not without hope. We thank you for this Easter season that we're moving into. We thank you for the assurance that we have of a life yet to come. We honor and bless Thelma and her life, and now her legacy. So, Father, we thank you for it. Bless the food we ask now and our fellowship. May we be strengthened in our conversations with one another. We thank you for your provision. And again, we pray this in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. May you stand for just a moment while they dismiss the